Hello everyone, this is Darcinova here. I said last month there wouldn't really be any more hauls, but I've accumulated enough that I could actually do one. This isn't going to be regular. Like I said, I may do hauls once in a while. This is some stuff I accumulated. There are some fiction mixed with nonfiction. So here you go. This is probably the biggest haul you'll see probably in a while. To start with Warcraft, which is only one, I got Shadows of the Horde, written by Michael A. Stockpole. I'm a fan of his Star Wars work, so looking forward to reading this. Surprisingly, the place I bought it off, I got this for $1. Pretty good condition, I will say that much. Since I love Vector Prime, and I think R.A. Salvatore is a great writer, and I want to read his other works, this is the first of his series and I'm looking forward to reading these. Of course, I have to read Game of Thrones Book 2, which is taking fucking forever. Never realized how much content there is in those books. More of the Kevin J. Anderson Saga of the Seven Sons. This is Book 2. The reason I'm getting these in hardcover because I prefer hardcovers and they're more durable and yeah, that's why. Maybe I'll explain it. This is a book club hardcover for the third book of the Saga of Seven Sons. It's going to take me a while for me to collect all these. Due to the fact there's so many fucking books. This one is Star Trek Deep Space Nine, the first hardcover, Warped. I can't comment on this. I might talk about it in a future video when I do eventually get around to reviewing Star Trek books again. This is the only Star Wars related things in this haul. Another book in the new canon. I got this because there was a deal on it. Rebel Rising, which I liked Rogue One, and I wouldn't mind reading some more about some of the characters in that movie. Like I said, I'll talk about it in a future video, my stance on the new canon, honestly. I'm not going to talk about it here. It's not appropriate. But I can tell you this much. I'm not excited for The Last Jedi, and I'll explain why in the future. This is some nonfiction now. Yeah, I'm actually interested in reading about history. And since we're at a time where, I don't want to get too political in this video, where Donald Trump is president and you have a lot of religious psychopaths in our government, I figured, why not read about one of our founding fathers, who was Christian, and that is Thomas Paine. The Age of Reason, which I don't understand why anyone would not even know about this man. I didn't. But then again, I'll talk about the education system in another video. Some history. This is some Legends of the Samurai, which is, of course, there's so much history of Japan that it would take many books to learn. So I may talk about these books. I'm no historian, so I can't review it as a historian, but I can tell you if it's worth your time, if you want to learn more. Here's a book, The Democracy in America. This was written in the 1800s from a French person's point of view about the democracy in this country. And this book may be relevant to our society today. It's very interesting. Like I said, in a way, this kind of gives me a lot to talk about in the future. This is another book by Thomas Paine called Common Sense, which there isn't much to it. Why am I obsessed with Thomas Paine now? Because he's one of our founding fathers, and if you know anything about modern day liberalism, leftism, a lot of it, almost nearly all of it is because of Thomas Paine. The Rights of Man, He is a good chunk of the reason why, the country that we know exists today. It wouldn't exist without him. And The American Crisis, also by Thomas Paine. Yeah, a lot of my stuff is by Thomas Paine. Then there's one book called The Book of the Samurai. This should be an interesting read too. Shit. And probably one of the most famous books of all time, The Art of War. Fuck. Gotta be careful, the rest of this shit's gonna collapse. One of George R. One of his earlier works before he wrote Game of Thrones. And for Star Trek fans, this is interesting. I found this at Book Off, which some of you may not know what that is, but it sells a lot of rare goods. This is a source book that was published in the 90s that had the timeline for the most part is complete, though it's severely out of date because this was released, in 1993. I believe during the end of Next Generation's run, I believe. This gives you the complete history, what was up to date at the time. It should be an interesting read. Oh, you think I'm done? Oh, no. I have some comics I gotta show and some Blu-rays. Ooh. Another anime for those Mobile Suit Gundam 8th MS Team on Blu-ray along with the movie. The Miller Report. I'd never seen it, so it should be interesting. Probably one, if not the most famous anime movie of all time, Akira. And Logan. Which, of course, this has the NAR version, which has it in black and white. Unfortunately, I couldn't see this movie in theaters, which sucks. I'll talk about Logan, though. I'm probably going to do a retrospective on all the X-Men films before I review Logan. Now to the comics. Unlike a certain someone, I actually am expanding my collection. Ha! You think I want to do a shot at him? This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles universe. This is not a reboot. This just expands upon the universe of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I love the IDW run, and I want to read more. I'm so far behind, though, in the main series that it's going to be years before I catch up because I refuse to read scanlations. More Flash. This is Mark Waid's run. This is the second one. When Wally West was the Flash, which he's my preferred Flash. Sorry, Barry Allen fans. This is the fourth volume of the infamous Clone Saga. I got a deal on this. I got this for $10 at my local comic shop. Oh, and here's some Thor. Not sure if this is good, but I was looking for deals. Mystique, which I always found was an interesting character. Her own series, which is $10. This one I got completely free. This is an adaptation of a book, apparently. And here's some DC Rebirth. These are trades. I'm going to explain my reason why I stopped buying the issues in a later video, but maybe I could give my brief. Keeping up with these is too much. So I figured I'll just wait for the trades to come out. This is All-Star Batman, Volume 1. I loved the first issue, but I couldn't keep up with everything, and each issue was $5. It's fucking expensive. You add it all up, it's like, how many issues are featured in here, by the way? see, this is a haul. Fuck. If I do, see, where is the issues? It is not listed. 5 issues. That's $45. If you don't spend $45, possibly 50 plus tax, just buy the trade. You may be able to get it even cheaper if you get it off Amazon. I wasn't too keen on the Batman's main series, but I've heard it's gotten really good, so I decided to pick up the first 2 trades for Batman Rebirth. This is Volume 1. I am Gotham. Volume 2. I am Suicide. I think they're all going to have I am at the end of each volume name. And, of course, the first volume of the Clone Saga, because I hate the idea of having a volume of something and not at least have the first one. So, yeah, that's my haul. Nothing really special. Don't expect me to do another one. I just figured I might as well to change things up. Have a good day, everyone. And if you see me upload a video that was related to my Star Wars review, it was recorded before I did this. So if you're wondering why I'm suddenly wearing a different shirt, that's why. Have a good day, everyone. And hopefully, I will see Wonder Woman on Monday, and I can give you my thoughts on it. And when we all live and prosper, peace, guys.